So I had the suspicion that might have a bad front end component, and it's about that time. I was blaming on the tires for a while, but what we're going to do today is we're going to check to see if, in fact, my wheel bearings have finally gone bad. And if so, we are going to replace them. So let's jack up the front end and we will check and see which one we think it might be. That one seems to be good. Well, I think we found the problem. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we are going to set it back down. We break the lug nuts loose. Then we are going to set the parking brake to safety first and jack it back up and take this thing off. So let's get started. Rule of thumb, if you're gonna be under your vehicle working, make sure to put something under there in case it does fall off the jack or jack stands. It's not gonna land on you. It's just a little safety tip I'll throw in there. All right, now that we have the wheel gone and under the truck for safety, we are going to remove the caliper mount, and then we will take off the rotor. So let's get started. All right, once you got the bolts out, take a screwdriver, flathead. We're gonna stick it in. See right there? And we're gonna pry the pads away from the caliper. Just enough to get some slack to where we can get the caliper completely off. Just like so. All right. Take the caliper, we're gonna hang it up here. There's no kinking or binding on the brake lines, because then if there is, eventually that's gonna cause a problem. So once we got it out of the way, take this bracket off right here, we'll move on to the next step. All right, now the easiest way to access these, we're gonna crank the truck up, turn all the way to the left, so we can get behind there, get everything done. We'll just take this part right here. It's got your brake pads on it. Just move it out of the way. Remove the rotor, which is super simple. Put it over here. So from here, we'll come on in a little bit closer. All right, so from here we're going to take this cap off to access the axle nut, remove it, and then we'll take the 4 bolts holding the wheel bearing on. All right, next thing we're gonna do, remove this cap right here. We're gonna pry into it, pull it off just like so. That exposes the axle nut, which I think is a 15 millimeter. Pry against these. Shouldn't be too much effort. Yeah, there we go. And you want to be careful with these, because if they break, then you have to get a whole new CV shaft, because it usually takes the stud or the threads off with it. From there, we're gonna chase this ABS line, all the way up under the hood right here. We're gonna unplug it, and then we'll come back and we'll take these bolts out. All right, first thing we're gonna do, pop the hood, of course. Then, for us with short people syndrome, we're gonna access this little step so that we can actually reach everything under the hood of the truck. All right, so once we get in here, what we're looking for is going to be this plug right here. That is your ABS sensor for the passenger side, and then there's one on the driver's side as well. So we'll disconnect this, fish it down through the fender liner, and get back on the bottom and take out the wheel bearing. All right, now we got that out of the way, we will get rid of my step. We'll come back in here. Right here is going to be your sensor. Going to pull all the plugs. Actually, pull the plug out right there. We're going to come around your caliper. Pull this Christmas tree out. Make sure your caliper don't fall. We're going to take this bolt out right here, and that will release this to where we can then work on those. And what I do with these is take it out and I put it right back in so I don't forget where it's at, because it is small. There. Move it over there. Now we'll attack the two bolts on this side, crank it up, turn the wheel, do the two on the other side, and this should pull right off. I don't know what happened there. So anyway, so we took these two bolts out, took these two out here. Basically, look at that. Pull that sucker right off, just like that. All right, now this part we're gonna do is we're gonna crank the truck up and let it pull vacuum, because I don't have a hand vacuum pump. And we're gonna see if it pulls this back so that I can kind of clean it up a little bit and then stick the new one on. So I'm gonna let y'all tell me if anything changes. Yep. All right, hold it back. Good deal. So what we're gonna do now is apply some grease to the new one and slide it on. Take and stick this on. Pull the plug out this end. Pull the plug out of this end. Slide it on, just like that. Once you get it slid on, hold it in place. Take one of our bolts. And start it from the back. Okay. Go ahead and run this one in. And when it comes to reseating the new hub, you saw I dropped a little dirt in there. You want to make sure you get all that out, because any contamination is going to eat the bearings faster than it's supposed to. And then, before you know it, you'll be doing this job again. Now that we have it all started, what I'll do is make sure the axle stays in place. Remember this guy? We're going to put it back. Tighten it up. Now this is only tightened to 32 foot-pounds. So don't go crazy on it. There. Alright. Now let's see, you got the, look at that. Got some new hub. Now that we got it all pulled in just right and everything, now we can cut the truck off and finish bolting everything back up. So from this point, it's basically, you're gonna work your way backwards now. We'll we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tighten those up in the back. It's gonna secure your hub. The last thing we want is anybody's wheels falling off. That feels about like 120 foot-pounds. I gotta crank it up one more time because I forgot. Can't get through that one bolt. I don't know if I said one more time, but you already know I'm gonna have to crank it back up and turn it the other way once we're done. Alright. Now I guess, for heaven's sake, we'll torque it to spec. Alright. Let's get this sucker torqued. Put you on there. Let's check those last two. Okay. Let y'all, because I'm going to be right on top of y'all. Alright. So from here, there. Torqued to spec. Alright, from here, we're going to come back to the small 8mm back here. Run your line up, bolt it down like so. Alright, so apparently my phone ran out of storage right in the middle of this. But we got this bolted up with 8mm. We're gonna fish this all the way back up into the engine bay, plug it back up, and then we'll jump back on this right here. Alright, next we're gonna put our dust cover back on. Almost forgot about it. One, there's two, three, one, and last one, three. Alright, now we'll put the rotor back on. Now, we're gonna put our caliper bracket back on. Click, click. Click, click. Click. There we go, spec. From this point, what we'll do, gonna install the caliper. I'm gonna use a C-clamp to push the pistons back. That way it'll be a lot easier to work with the pads and all in here. All right, easiest way to do this is take your brake pad, put it in there so you don't damage your pistons. Then take and okay. All right, got our pads back in. Let's pull this out, slide back over, just like so. All right, now that we have the caliper back on, we'll tighten these bolts up and put the wheel back on, and we're done. All right, basically that's gonna wrap it up. I'm fixing to put the wheel back on, and then we'll take it for a drive and see if we got the noise to quiet down. All right, now that all that's done, let's take it for a quick test drive and see if all our hard work paid off. So already straight out of the gate, I can tell you 1,000 times better. Like, I've got no slop in the steering, the whole roaring's gone. Main test now is we're gonna get it up to 65 and see if this sucker still shakes like crazy. We're at 60, smooth as glass. So we back, baby. That's gonna about wrap it up. If you found this video helpful, hit the old like button. Like I said, we trying to grow our subscribers, and anything helps. If you really want to help out, just go ahead and subscribe and check out all my other videos where we do other things to the truck. And we'll be diving off into something else before long, so stay tuned.